Picture this: a world submerged underwater, a deluge so vast that it covered even the highest mountains. The biblical story of Noah's Ark and the Great Flood is one of the most well-known tales of divine judgment and mercy. But while much attention is given to Noah, his family, and the animals on the ark, there's a curious question that often gets overlooked. What happened to the fish and plants? If everything on land was covered with water, how did aquatic life and vegetation survive such a cataclysmic event? This question isn't just a trivial detail. It's a fascinating puzzle that touches on theology, biology, and the mysteries of the natural world. Let's dive deep into this intriguing topic, exploring the survival mechanisms that might have allowed fish and plants to endure the flood, and what it tells us about the world they lived in. And hey, if you enjoy exploring these mystical and biblical mysteries with us, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming content. Before we delve into the survival strategies of fish and plants, let's set the stage with a brief overview of the flood narrative as described in the Bible. The story is primarily found in the book of Genesis, chapters 6 to 9. According to the account, God saw the wickedness of humanity and decided to cleanse the earth with a great flood. Noah, a righteous man, was instructed to build an ark to save himself, his family, and a pair of every kind of animal. The floodwaters came from two sources: the fountains of the great deep and the windows of heaven. Genesis 7:11. This description suggests a combination of subterranean water release and heavy rainfall. The waters prevailed upon the earth for 150 days, and it took much longer for them to recede fully. The ark eventually rested on the mountains of Ararat, and life began anew. Now, while the Bible provides a clear narrative for the survival of land animals and humans, it leaves much to the imagination regarding the aquatic and plant life. So how did these life forms endure such a catastrophic event? Fish in a flooded world, surviving the deluge. Fish, by their very nature, live in water. However, the flood described in Genesis was no ordinary aquatic event. It involved massive amounts of water from both the deep and the sky, potentially altering water salinity, temperature, and habitat. So how did fish survive these drastic changes? Fish are incredibly resilient creatures. Many species can adapt to varying conditions, including changes in salinity and temperature. Euryhaline species, for instance, can survive in both freshwater and saltwater. These include species like salmon and eels, which migrate between the sea and rivers during their life cycles. During the flood, such adaptability would have been crucial for survival, as the mixing of ocean and freshwater could have created brackish environments. Even in a flooded world, not all water would have been the same. The turbulent mixing of waters might have created a variety of microhabitats. Some areas might have remained more stable in terms of salinity and temperature, providing refuges for different species. Shallow waters, estuaries, and areas near land masses could have offered safe zones where fish could find food and shelter. From a theological perspective, the survival of fish could be attributed to divine providence. Just as God preserved Noah and the land animals, he could have also ensured the survival of marine life. This perspective sees the flood as a controlled event where God maintained a balance in the ecosystem, preserving life according to his divine plan. Loving these explorations? Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and click on the notification bell. Your support helps us bring more intriguing content your way. The mystery of plant survival. Unlike fish, plants face a different set of challenges in a flood scenario. The prolonged submersion and lack of sunlight could have devastating effects on plant life. So, how did vegetation survive to repopulate the earth after the waters receded? One of the remarkable aspects of plants is their ability to produce seeds. Seeds can remain dormant for extended periods, waiting for favorable conditions to germinate. In the aftermath of the flood, many plant species could have regrown from seeds that survived in the soil. Some seeds can withstand prolonged submersion, and others may have been carried to new locations by the waters, facilitating the spread of vegetation. Not all plants are rooted in the ground. Aquatic plants, like water lilies and duckweed, float on the surface of the water. These plants would have likely survived the flood by floating and continuing to photosynthesize, provided they received enough light. Additionally, certain plants are capable of propagating through fragments, meaning that even if parts of the plant were broken off, they could regrow under the right conditions. Many plants can reproduce vegetatively, meaning they can grow from parts of the plant other than seeds, such as roots, stems, or leaves. This method of reproduction could have been a significant survival mechanism. For example, tubers and bulbs could survive submerged in the soil, ready to sprout once conditions improved. A pivotal moment in the biblical account is when the dove returns to Noah with an olive leaf in its beak, Genesis 8:11. This moment symbolizes the receding of the waters and the return of plant life. The olive leaf's survival suggests that some trees, especially those with deep roots, may have survived the floodwaters. Trees like the olive, which can endure tough conditions, might have been among the first to regrow. While scientific and ecological explanations provide one perspective on how fish and plants survived the flood, the story also invites reflection on divine intervention. According to the biblical narrative, the flood was not merely a natural disaster, but a divinely orchestrated event. This aspect implies that God's providence played a crucial role in preserving life, including aquatic and plant life. Beyond survival, the rebirth of ecosystems. After the waters receded, the earth was left with a blank slate. The survival and regrowth of fish and plants were critical for the restoration of ecosystems. This process would have involved complex ecological dynamics, including recolonization by plant life. The return of plant life would have been the first step in restoring ecosystems. Plants form the base of the food chain, providing food and habitat for other organisms. As plants regrew, they would have stabilized the soil, prevented erosion, and contributed to the formation of new habitats. Restoration of aquatic ecosystems. As water levels normalized, aquatic ecosystems would have undergone a period of adjustment. Fish and other aquatic organisms would have recolonized rivers, lakes, and seas. The return of plant life along water bodies would have helped re-establish habitats for fish and other aquatic creatures. Biodiversity and ecological balance. The preservation of biodiversity would have been crucial for the recovery of ecosystems. Even if many species faced challenges during the flood, those that survived would have contributed to the genetic diversity needed for ecological balance. Over time, ecosystems would have recovered, becoming even more diverse and resilient. The story of the flood is more than an ancient narrative. It offers profound lessons and reflections for us today. It reminds us of the resilience of life and the intricate balance of ecosystems. It also invites us to consider the power and mystery of divine intervention in the natural world. For believers, the flood is a testament to God's justice and mercy. It underscores the idea that, even in judgment, there is a plan for renewal and restoration. The survival of fish and plants symbolizes hope and new beginnings, showing that life can endure even the most challenging circumstances. The survival of fish and plants during the flood is a fascinating aspect of the biblical narrative that often goes unnoticed. Through a combination of natural resilience, adaptability, and divine providence, these life forms endured one of the most significant cataclysms described in the Bible. Their survival not only ensured the continuity of life on Earth, but also set the stage for the renewal and rebirth of ecosystems. As we explore these ancient stories, we are reminded of the incredible complexity and beauty of creation. The flood narrative, with its rich blend of mystery, theology, and natural science, continues to inspire and challenge us to think deeply about our world and our place in it. If this exploration has sparked your curiosity or brought you a new perspective, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell. We look forward to sharing more insights and mysteries with you on our biblical mystical journey.